what's going on? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay. I'm the car hauling dispatcher. You're watching Auto Transport Intel again. It's Tuesday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's Central Time. So we're all back in position here. So kind of a restart, you know. Do the show, go through the show, and then wait all week to do it again. So I really appreciate you guys coming back. Had a bit of a hiccup there for a second. Tried to go live. Got this pop-up message that I wasn't live. Then, you know, I checked the stream live key. Everything was correct there. So then I went live again. And then I got the notification. I forgot to change the title of the show. So we're going to do last week's show again since the title wasn't changed. So welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. Thanks for joining the live chat. I see the one and only made it in here first. That's right, the super trucker, the one and only. So welcome back to the show, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate seeing you tuning in every time and saying hello. I really do. Dave Williams, welcome back to the show. Man's got to get paid. So actually, Dave and I are going to do a short United Road story a little later tonight. That'll be cool. Mike is with us, Mike the dispatcher. This is great, Mike, because this show is called Working with a Dispatcher. Why is it called that? It's called Working with a Dispatcher because, so I get emails now like daily, which is really cool, from new car haulers. I got more than one today. And questions about getting into car hauling, trucks, power units, etc. Lots of questions, which I happen to have more and more answers all the time because of the folks I talk to, which is really great. But one of the questions is about dispatching. Do I need a dispatcher? What does a dispatcher charge? So this show is actually because Eric was asking me those questions, and Eric's going to be on the show tonight, and I'm going to try and answer those questions live. So that is kind of what the show is based around, is the interview with Eric, and then I came up with a lot of bullet points of why and what and how and where and who and this and that. So this could be hopefully interesting. So if you don't listen, if you don't care about dispatching, you know, don't despair, because I think you might learn something. You might actually hear a reason for a dispatcher. And if you have dispatchers, oh, look at this, Think Media's live. Yeah, he's actually, Think Media is listed as like my number 2 YouTube wisdom YouTuber on my channel. So don't go tuning into his show right now. Let's get you off there, Think Media. He's got plenty of subscribers. Okay. And so if you do have a dispatcher, hopefully I can clarify what some of the things your dispatcher should be doing, does do. I'll tell you, I looked on Central Dispatch on the classified ads. Do you guys know about those? We'll look at those too. In Central Dispatch, you can find classified ads for dispatchers. Man, I can't believe what some of them offer. So we're going to talk about that too. Acme Transport is back. What's up? Welcome back to the show, Acme Transport. Every week, that's right, we're going to hang out every week. We're going to be hanging out with Yuri. Yuri's back in the show. Mike Niekoff, he's on the show tonight. We're hanging out with Mike. We're hanging out with Mevo72. What's up? What's up with DispatchMonkey.com website? I know, actually, I just tried to check it out. News to me. I don't know, man. It's crazy. CB Harold's back in the house. What's up, CB? Trucking Answers is back in the house. What's up, Trucking Answers? That would be Mark. Mark has been on this show. CB has been on this show. Mevo, what are you doing? I'm just kidding. Nathan Transport. By the way, I'm looking over here into the live chat. You guys know where I'm looking. Over into the live chat. I got my monitor over here. I got my ELD Kool-Aid. I'm not even upset. I'm drinking ELD Kool-Aid. What's up with that? Nathan Transport, welcome. Thanks for saying hello. I appreciate it. I really do. Ooh, here we got a new one. Purnell Callens. First time trying to learn a lot. All right. Purnell, this show is for you, man. There is a lot of information here. And actually, I think this show gets better and better every week. There's dips in the analytics. That's okay. But I'm real proud of where we're headed. So I hope you learn a lot, Purnell. And please participate in the live chat. You can get a lot of great answers in there. Johnny Della Garza, what's up? Welcome back to the show, Johnny. And let's see. V. Drew, oh, Victor, what's up? Shout out from San Francisco. Let's do this thing. Seriously, let's do this thing. In fact, Victor, we got to catch up at some point. We got to do a show, man. It's going to be a great show. JC Smith Projects, welcome back again. Thanks for being part of the core. I do appreciate that, JC. Sherman Jack, Jayville Transport System LLC. Cool, man. Awesome. Jacksonville, right? Jayville or Jacksonville? What else we got? Jacob Matthew. Okay, Jake the Broker. What's up, Jake? Cool. You're going to enjoy. We're going to do a segment with an actual car shipping customer. We got to get to that. This is going to be a long show. Yeah, like there's any short ones. I really thought I was going to do a shorter show. What's up? Paul with Max Premier Transport Service. Tell a friend. Thanks. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing. Man, I did a lot of promotion for this show. I ran a Facebook promo. I did some teaser posts. I did my screenshot with the Auto Transport Intel goes live in 2 hours. I did an Instagram post about 15 minutes ago. It's crazy. So we'll see what happens. Daniel Gamboa Global Transportation. What's going on, Daniel? Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. I appreciate that. Jay, let's call that gentleman from Dispatch Monkey. Yeah, it is a great site. Moozy is his name. So we had a nickname. We were going by Moozy from Dispatch Monkey. Biggie Romine. Hey, what's up, Biggie? Thanks for joining the show. That's awesome. I hope you like this show, Biggie. I hope that this show is a fresh departure from... I watch the other shows and channels, and I'm really trying to create something unique here. I think I've done that, but you'll let me know. I appreciate any feedback I can get. And not to say, and it's not easy to do. In fact, you know what? I don't even dispatch every day anymore. I spend so much time on the show. There's no way I could drive and do this show. And actually, I do this show for drivers that need, I try to make the show that drivers would make. That's what I'm trying to do. And because I'm sitting at a desk and I'm bored. I'm, like trying to think of fun stuff to do. And so I'm trying to do that. Interesting stuff, too. I'm trying. Irvine Transport, what's up, man? And I fight for drivers. And I am your friend. Okay. All right. But see, if you say that, does that mean you really are? Well, I'm going to prove it to you. Daryl Smith, got your messages. You've been busy with some stuff. Oh, okay, cool. Carpooling.com. That's Daryl from carpooling.com. Saw the ads you put out and got me to tune in. All right. So it works. Man, I'm glad. I'm trying. And Brian the Car Hauler. Man, you've been tuning in a lot. I appreciate that. Ooh, we got another. Seth Burt. Why did my insurance tell me to tell them if I start to pull cars, does insurance go up a lot? Well, Seth, I'll tell you what. When it comes to insurance and trailers and power units, I rely on the wise words of veteran car haulers that are in this live chat that would be kind enough to comment below this video. If you're watching this video on demand, please comment below. Hey, and if you're tuning in right now, please give this show a like. I can use your likes and shares. And if you have an answer for Seth about insurance, please chime in. I mean, hauling cars is higher risk than other forms of transportation, and depending on the size of your car hauler, the years of experience, whether you have a CDL, the insurance agent, where you're located, I mean, those can all be factors. So this site can't be reached. Dispatch Monkey took too long to respond. I know, that's what I got too. So, but you know what? Moozy would be proud that we're talking about Dispatch Monkey. Right, hazmat. I mean, there's so many considerations. In fact, Paul was saying that somebody messed up on their application with their, I think it was their authority, and they checked all the check boxes, and their insurance was like out of control because they had checked all these different things that they were going to do as a car hauler. They're just going to haul cars, man. Don't check the hazmat boxes and all that other stuff. So, yeah, thank you, Irvine Transport. I try to pay it forward with the information. I know that you guys do the same, so I appreciate it. If you ain't enclosed, you ain't getting hosed. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Okay, so check this out. Here's what we're gonna do now. All right, so this channel is growing, but I need your help. I uh, I need to listen. I got this monitor over here doesn't even work. I don't know if it's the cable or the video card or what. I need to improve my audio. My computers are old. My cameras are old. I'm old. This whole thing is old. So I need help, and I'm gonna ask for your help. So I've already done some paid consultations. So I'm going to expand upon that, and let me know if I go too far with this. Okay, so here's some channel support packages I put together. So here we go. Okay, number one. Okay, so you can get the gate pass. So if you said, hey Jay, I want to get the gate pass. So for $50, I'll give you a 45-minute one-on-one phone consultation. All right, that's the gate pass. But if you want to do the greenhorn, it's $100. And that's 90 minutes one-on-one phone consultation. Now I've already done about 10 greenhorns. So, you know, and let me say this too. If this interests you, the way to do this is only through PayPal. It's the only, you can super chat me, that's great, but YouTube takes a big chunk of the super chat. So it's really not, it's not a viable revenue stream. But PayPal only takes like, I think it's 3%, something pretty small. So, all right, so you got the gate pass or the greenhorn. Now, I recommend those are for new car haulers. If you need advice, by the way, you know if you email me and contact me, I'm probably going to talk to you anyways. I mean, I've done many free consultations. They're not as long, but if you want to secure a spot, we'll schedule it. Ask for the gate pass of the greenhorn. Okay, now is this crazy? If this is crazy, go ahead and live chat me. Jay, what are you talking about? Or if you think this is great. But again, the whole purpose here is I don't want to ask for your money, so I want to work for it. All right, and I think that honestly, I think that the time, I think it's well spent. That's the feedback I've gotten. So, the next one. All right, here we go. The Mix. This is my favorite package. The Mix for $150. I know it seems like a lot, but again, you know, maybe not. Maybe not. Man, if you're working hard and making good money, dude, a $500 car, this is like a third of that. So, you will get an Auto Transport Intel t-shirt. What does that look like? All right, well, there's the front of the t-shirt and there's the back of the shirt. Now, I just made a couple of these shirts. I made 3 shirts so far, and I expect pictures of the drivers wearing them, and that means you, Dave. And so that's the t-shirt, all right? Then also, I've got new business cards that I just made. I'll give you some business cards, and you can help me, you know, promote this channel or, you know, whatever. You guys approve of this? The Mix, dude. Oh man, I'm so thankful for the Mix gift. That's just, man, it just keeps on giving. And then of course we'll do a one-on-one phone conversation. Now I don't put a time limit on that because, man, this is the Mix. I mean, this is a really, you know, super deal. But just in case it's not enough. And you wanna feel like a VIP? Well, guys, I have included the VIP package. Okay, actual delivery, actual pickup. All right, so with the VIP, you actually get a mug. Okay, so there's a mug. You get the T-shirt. You get the 25 business cards, and with the VIP, we're gonna find a slot to put you on a future show. Also, I want to mention, on the shipping on the t-shirt and the mug and the business cards, everything, it's like 30-day pay, okay? You're lucky if you ever get it. No, I'm just kidding. But I need time because I need, this is one of the other problems, is that right now, to make this stuff, it's, especially the t-shirts, it's not cheap. It's not very profitable, but I do want to get some merchandise out there. You know, I've got a shirt on too. I've got my Auto Transport Intel. This is my shirt. This is my host shirt. I will make some of these too, but those are Road Worker yellow. Or, yeah, I think it's yellow. It looks kind of green, but I think it's yellow. But anyways, that's the deal. So this is my spiel. because really that's what I'm spending more time. What time is it, by the way? Gosh, it's 8:18. That's crazy. I spend more time doing consultations now than I really thought I was going to be doing, which is great because the less time I spend dispatching, the more time I spend doing consultations and doing the show, really the better it is, I think, for the ecosystem and my sanity. So 20 steps to car hauling. Okay, consultations include 20 steps to car hauling. Which I wrote. That's my blog post. I'm going to make sure you know about improving highway safety on the FMCSA site, that you get the download. We're going to talk about power units and trailers. I'll try and point you in the right direction. That also includes if you are looking for training. If you want to discuss route planning, I'll do some load board searches and send you the results because I don't think anybody else is going to do that. At least not the formal load boards because they haven't created that feature, which is kind of funny. Dispatcher referrals. I'll get you a dispatcher referral. We'll find you a dispatcher. We'll have a conversation, and then we can follow up through email. So as I like to say, as I've said to people, and if I've said this to you, this might be the longest conversation we've ever had, and we'll probably ever have. So I say that a lot, and it's a catchy phrase. And so PayPal only, please. If you are interested in any of this stuff, man, send me an email. You can send me an email. Tell me if you want the gate pass, the greenhorn, the mix, or the VIP, and then you can pay for it through PayPal. You know, you can pay. You don't have to pay me right away, but if you want to, that's great. If you want to send me $1 million, that's wonderful too. Okay, that's my spiel. What do we got here? That's nuts. Brian the Carl House says that's nuts. Serge, that's crazy. Okay, I think I need to go back. You guys approve another mix. Honestly, fairly priced too. Okay, yeah, you know, I think so too. I appreciate that. Another mix. You're at home, Brian. What part? Oh yeah. Okay, you guys are talking about the insurance. You do quick pay. You know, I thought about calling them one of them quick pay. I thought about the in-op, the quick pay. Actually, the greenhorn comes from my favorite show, one of my favorite shows, Deadliest Catch. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it does look like chartreuse. I don't understand the color that they used, but we'll see. So we'll see. So Dave, we need to see that picture once you get your shirt. Oh wow. Serge is talking about getting detained questions, so that's pretty crazy. Okay, here we go. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so I appreciate that. Now, we may or may not... Well, what time is it? It's 8:20. Let's do some industry news. All right, let's do this thing. Okay, so... where is my picture? Okay, here we go. Industry news. By the way, if you're still with me, I appreciate that. Where is the counter? You know, it's like they changed the view. Bear with me here. Yeah, you know what? I think... Well, that's interesting. So it says I'm streaming. Okay. So I can see your chats. We're still live. I think we're still live. But, my thing says offline. God, that's weird. But my... So I'm still live. All right, I'm just going to keep going. You know, it is weird. This, I don't know if they updated the YouTube streaming. I don't know. But we're going to keep going. All right, we're going to keep going. All right, once a trucker, always a trucker. It's like the mafia. You know too much. Let's see what else we got here. You know, I like doing industry news. I get this stuff off Facebook. Truck driving, not a crime. Stop treating us like criminals, which leads us into the next slide. You told us the ELD mandate would make our jobs easier. Our lie detector test determined that was a lie. You know how I feel about ELD, right? Why do you need an egg timer? Who needs an egg timer? Are we all going to have egg timers? Is that the future? I think so. Yeah, here we go. How about, yeah, government bracelet. It's awesome, dude. When you drive by a way station in your personal car. There you go. They kicked me offline because I was promoting PayPal. That's awesome, dude. Okay, here we go. Truck show shenanigans. Booze, trucks, party. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that goes under off-duty. This one has been huge. We've all seen this picture, at least once, right? But I find this meme kind of, that's my favorite version of it, because it reminds me of, it's like Cars the movie with the trucks. Okay, here's what a dispatcher says when they're not listening to you. I understand your situation, but can you make it to your destination on time? This is a guy that just got put out of service for running paper logs. So you don't want to do that. This is breakfast somewhere. This is for you guys in your trucks all day, right? This is a guy talking about how it's not worth it to do his own oil changes. It's impressive, but not worth it. Which is interesting. It's kind of like dispatching. You can do your own dispatching, but maybe paying somebody else, maybe throwing someone else a little bit of the revenue to handle it, maybe that's a good idea. Found a donut in a repo unit. Somebody call, I don't know, Drake. Found a donut in a repo unit. Okay. And then he dances outside the car. Can anybody explain that to me, by the way? I don't get it. 32 watching on your counter. All right, cool. I can't see anything. I mean, I'm lucky I'm still alive. I think Daryl said it best. I think, yeah, YouTube's trying to kick me off. When you pass through a hailstorm, this actually is a great question. I've had this question before. How do you handle that? You know, because you probably got some damages on some cars. What's the best way? What do you do? Report it to the broker? Do you get the hail report? It's a pretty interesting question. I don't know. I didn't even know you could get a hail report. That's impressive. Got an email from Cars Arrive regarding a unit delivered last week, and they're asking about questions, technical questions, mechanical issues, and then they won't pay because the car has mechanical issues. I'm not sure that has anything to do with loading a car. And then here's a text. Let's see, 5 minutes on both cars, or this one, then got to track the other one down. I'll talk when I get there. Meet me at Jaguar if you can. I'm out, man. I can't tie up 2 days on 2 cars. Can't take any then? No prob. Sorry. Ugh. Which, ugh. I'm here if you just want to take Jag. Nope, not wasting 2 days on 1 car. Okay. Why did I show this? I don't know. Oh, Carhenge. Yeah. There we go. It makes Carhenge even sweeter. The boredom of a text. Carhenge. So that's probably a run and drive, or, as I like to say, start and lurch, I'm guessing. But it's a run and drive. Hey! Okay. I don't even know. I mean, well, I can guess, but I don't know. I hope that didn't happen the way... No. There's no windshield. I don't know what that is. You stuck. Okay. Tried to stop for the red light. Forgot I had a boat on back. This happened today. This happened earlier, man. This is in Tallahassee. I don't know what happened. Well, I mean, I don't know, dude. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? In fact, I think the guy in the camo's thinking, now how did that happen? I'm just guessing. What else we got here? Okay, yeah, I gotta call Judy in a few minutes. Top 10 reasons for parking on the fuel island. You thought no one would notice. You mistake it for handicap parking. You ran out of hours in the fuel island. You lost one of your flip-flops. That's awesome. You thought you got rewards points for the time you spent in the fuel island. Your cankles are irritated and it hurts to walk. You are self-righteous, arrogant. You literally own the truck stop. You are God's gift to trucking, and the #1 reason for parking in the fuel island is you don't know how to back a truck. Oh man, that was great. Gosh, I can hear Paul flaming up on the keyboards and drums. Okay, like it's David Letterman or something. Okay, 22 ELD violations affecting CSA scores. Wow, do you guys know all these? I mean, I'm not going to go through it, but look at that. Look at 35. Oh, come on, man. Let's do this again. 35 dot. We got 35.8A through 35.34. I'm sorry, 395. So check out ECFR. Well, it wouldn't be ECFR, would it? But code 395.8A through 395.34A. Oh, man. Quoting code, man. But I mean, people know, Bible verses, so why not? All right, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, I want to share this with you, and then we're going to do our phone call. Oh, do I haven't? Wait, I thought there was more. Really? Really, Jay? Yeah, there's more. All right, here we go. Oh, no, I want this one. So, Central Dispatch put out a, what do you call it, a questionnaire? Central Dispatch put out, okay. Central Dispatch put out a questionnaire recently, and then Ready did, which is interesting because it's owned by the same company. Now, I filled out, this is my Ready questionnaire that I filled out. Did you guys get this? Anybody get this? Let me know if you saw this. And these are the answers that I gave. And then I did screenshots before I moved on to the next page. Mobile app, pretty good. Responsive to staff's pretty good. Accuracy of transpo. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I mean, okay. Those are pretty decent scores. So where's the problem? Capacity, coordinating transpo, time frame. I like to use their site. I like that I don't have to talk to people. The problem is, and then there's some quantitative, where do I get my loads, Ready, Central, dealerships, other companies. But, this is what I said. Please improve the submit bid negotiation process. Because it seems like there's nobody to contact with any actual information. And please find a way to incentivize repo lots to move vehicles that pay correctly. Because for now, I totally skipped that garbage. Everyone knows. It seems like repo lots like the cars, like they eat cars. Like that's why you can't get them on the phone, because they're too busy just going around collecting cars and looking at them. I mean, it's so hard to pick up a car. And if you do pick up a car at a repo lot, if you're able to actually plan a week into the future and get them on the phone for the 1 hour a week that they're working, then you actually go there to get it. And I mean, is it actually a run and drive, start and lurch? Does it have wheels? Is it laying in the mud sideways? And then does it pay well enough to go through all that hassle? Forget about it. That's my comment. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone on there. I'm aware of Cox Automotive and their major brands. Oh, you betcha. Oh, you bet I'm aware. Okay, so here's my overall satisfaction with Cox Automotive. This is where I really had my kicks, All right, so, maybe I'm just having fun, but seriously? And by the way, I thought we were talking about Ready Logistics. Now you're asking me about my satisfaction with Cox Automotive, because that's what we're really getting at. I think those other pages was just nonsense. They know that their site is good. They want to know how people really feel about them. Well, you know what? I'm going to give you a 3 out of 10, because I don't see any improvement of software that really helps. For as long as you've been around, for as much money as you have, for as much lockdown of this industry you've got, you sure don't seem to really do much. For new car haulers that want to try out your site, they really can't do anything. Until they have their MC authority, they can't even see your board. I look for images or any kind of sandbox, there's nothing. And then when I do work with a driver and we are using Central Dispatch, there's so many features that I wish that it had, things it would do, searches I wish I could do. I mean, I wish it represented current 21st century technology. So I give you a 3 out of 10. Okay. All right, that was fun. Glad you got that off your chest. Let's call Judy. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's get this show on the road. Okay. By the way, I think I think I told her 8:20 or 8:30. I'm not that far off. And Mark Swearingen, thanks for the picture of this truck. That's pretty cool. I like it. That's not Judy's truck or car.
Hey, Jay. This is Judy.
Hey, welcome to Auto Transport Intel, Judy.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining the show tonight. I really appreciate it.
Well, I hope I can give you some interesting information or whatever you guys are looking for.
Well, listen, I know you've got some information that we want because you are an actual car shipping customer, right?
Correct.
That's right. I mean, you're a real person. You're not a car hauler. You're not a dispatcher.
Right.
You're not a broker.
Right.
You are an individual that needed to ship a car, and somehow you found me. Tell me how that happened.
Well, okay. This is the second car that we shipped to my son. The first one, my husband, like a year and a half ago, we shipped him a car to Fort Hood, Texas. And we just got online, Googled it, put in a thing, the phone rang, and my husband handled it all, and the car went. And so this time, I did that. And and right after I hit send on the computer, like a few minutes later, my phone rang, and a woman said, said, are you still interested in shipping the car? And I was like, yes, I just, hit the button. And that's how fast she called me. And the guy she connected me with, I didn't feel good when I talked to him. I didn't feel good about what he was saying, like that he was being truthful or whatever. He was working it too hard. And when I got off the phone with him, I thought, oh, I know someone. So I messaged a friend of mine who I known, just basically now we're just Facebook people, but I knew him in another lifetime, John Bloom, and
Right.
I asked him, and I knew that he had hauled cars, and he does so many things.
Yeah.
And I just thought I wanted him to just suggest somebody, shoot me in the right direction of somebody who I would feel good about doing business with. And that's how he gave me your name, and that's how I contacted you.
Right. Okay. And so, but the problem, so you had someone to talk to, and we know that finding a carrier that can run the route that you need at the time, that's a challenge, and that's why there's brokers, and brokers
Right.
can help match you with a carrier because they're in touch with all kinds of carriers, or rather they're posting cars on load boards, and carriers are on load boards looking for cars. But the problem, so that's not the problem. The problem was you didn't like the way the broker you talked to was talking to you, right?
Right, and I'll tell you, I learned a lot then watching your show. So I understand a little bit more of the other side of it. But you're exactly right. That gentleman who that I talked to, as far as and I get now the idea that it happens really fast. So they're trying to meet their needs really quickly. So I get that part. But and I am probably different. I get that also, that I'm just an individual, where a lot of times maybe they're dealing with car dealerships and things like that, and maybe that's part of it too, is they're not used to dealing with just an individual. I don't know how many individuals ship, but yeah, he was just working way too hard to build a rapport with me, and I felt kind of conning me a little bit, like. He said about, oh, your son's in the military. Okay, we're going to give you the military discount. And then he said, are you a nurse or a teacher? And I said, he said, are you a nurse or a teacher? And I said, no, I'm actually a social worker. And he says, oh, well, that's kind of like a teacher, so I'll give you that discount. So he was like saying he was giving me a discount, and I didn't ask for a discount, and the discount's fine, but I just really didn't even feel like he was probably really giving me a discount because he wasn't really talking about price yet, or it just didn't feel sincere.
That's right. That's right. And that's kind of the number one. It's interesting you say that. That's kind of the number one problem we all have in any transaction when we're dealing with a salesperson is as soon as we don't feel right.
Right.
I mean that's a huge barrier, and it's hard to come back from that.
And that for us, as human beings, so this will be my profession thing thought here, is, those are those signals that we, if we ignore them, bad things will really happen to us.
Yeah.
That's our sixth sense. That's that thing that if you're really in touch with yourself, you follow it, it usually leads you in the right direction. And so when that started going on, I thought, oh, that's fine. I don't have to do business with him. I'll just get through this phone call, because it just didn't feel right. And I thought, I mean, he's not coming to my house and drive my car. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
It's just the thought occurred to me. I just want to do business with people I feel good about doing business with. And I identified that feeling, and I thought, well, let me find how do I do that? How do I go about doing that?
Let me ask you this. Would you be comfortable not talking to a person and doing everything online through a form, or do you need to talk to a person?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Because
I think I would have been just fine with it all being just an email. And I did get some emails which I never responded to, because after that phone call, and I headed in my direction with John Bloom, and then to you, and then to Jake, I didn't look at any of those emails. But I probably would have been just fine with an email.
Well, here's the thing. What's interesting, the reason I asked you that question is, I'm assuming that if you feel comfortable with the broker, you're more likely to feel comfortable with the driver. Whereas if you do everything online without talking to anybody, how do you know what kind of driver you're going to get?
Well, I have to tell you, and I'm thinking both times I probably didn't care so much about the driver. I kind of trusted, like I know the first time, it never occurred to me to have any question about the driver. It wasn't until I talked to that person that made me feel,
Okay.
Yeah, until I talked to him and he was working so hard, then I decided I cared about where my money was going.
So that's actually
who my money was going to, and I didn't care so much about.
Really
I didn't care so much about the price. I cared mostly about. I cared mostly with the people, about the relationship, and that just maybe is me. And and I told you about this. I don't know if you remember what happened then next was.
Right. Tell me that. I remember.
Yeah. Oh, do you? Okay. So the broker, he found a transport for the car, and I think it was like maybe just ever so slightly higher than what the gentleman on the phone, the one who made me feel uncomfortable. It was maybe a little bit higher. He gave me a range, actually, I think is what he did. He said like, $11.50 to $12.50 or something like that. And so he called me back, and he had somebody for the $12.50. And I said to him, I asked him, I said, well, should I, hold off and see if there's somebody who'll do it for less or whatever? He was like, no, take this. I was like, okay. Well, then he called me back later that evening and said, well, the driver wants it cash on delivery. Doesn't want, because I was going to prepay. I wanted to prepay it so that my son wouldn't have that concern, because he's on base and his time is not his. He does not own his life. And I just want him to be able to pick up the car. And I said, no, that won't work for us. I want to prepay. And
right.
And I felt like, okay, this person wants cash, and I know the reasons why they want cash.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of reasons we want cash in this world. And I thought I think I was paying on the higher end, probably. I watched your show, I worked at my miles, I did all that, and I figured like, okay, I'm paying a very fair price for their time, and if that person wants cash and they're willing to walk away from the thing, that's fine. And I said, I'll just wait for who comes forward. That'll be a good thing. The next person.
Well,
and we got a great driver. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. What's interesting is, this is why I want to talk to you, is that I really like all of your feedback. I find very interesting. I think it's kind of like, it's almost like when we're sitting in a focus group. Mm-hmm. You've done a focus group before? I did a focus group, and we can't fully understand why they want to hear us say what we say.
Right.
But I really like hearing your feedback, because unfortunately, what I think one of the things that's at play here is we can't predict all the things you're thinking. The guy that gave you those discounts, I can't speak whether what he was all about, but he may have actually thought, by offering you a discount, he could get your business, and it backfired. Also, when asked...
But here's the thing, it's like, I don't know if it's a discount or not. So to me,
Right. Well,
that came at, like, I have no way of knowing if it's a discount or not, because he's not telling me.
I agree with you. No, I agree with what you said. I think you're probably right. But sometimes in business we offer discounts thinking it'll work, and it doesn't always work, or we offer it at the wrong time, or there's so many factors.
Right.
But I'd say this on the COD thing. I think when you were asked if COD would be okay, I don't know if that broker had realized what kind of reaction you would have, or maybe he predicted it because he's seen that before. Here's one of the problems is drivers oftentimes require COD because they've got so much other money out there they're waiting on. They literally can't take your load. They got to have a COD load somewhere.
Oh, right. Because they need to put gas in their vehicle.
That's exactly right. They need money for gas.
Gotcha.
Or the DOT.
I mean, it's hundreds of dollars to fill up. I know you're...
That's the thing is when they fill their tank, they can dump $750 in their tank. Or if they blow a tire or whatever. So I think the COD request, and this is and this is why we're talking about this too, is one of my larger goals with this show is to help inform future car shipping customers about what will really happen in the auto transport process.
Right.
And so my advice to anybody watching that is a future car shipping customer is, if a driver's looking for something like COD or I can't drive to your driveway, something that might sound strange, it might actually have to do with the way they do business or the situation they're in at the time.
Right.
But I mean, maybe, or you dodged a major bullet. I don't know which one it is.
Well, you know what, and I have no animosity about him wanting COD.
Yeah.
Just for us, that wasn't convenient.
Well, that's the thing, and that's
because of our situation.
And
that wasn't ideal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why, as a dispatcher, I ask drivers I work with to please be flexible to what the shipper's looking for, what the broker's looking for, if possible, and if not, no problem. And I think that's where actually, by you being the customer and having a broker, and the driver having the dispatcher and the broker can do the talking about these finer points, while the customer and the driver can focus on what it is they need to focus on. Because you had a million other things to focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why this ecosystem works the way it does.
And truly a broker then probably... So I would say the person that I talked to the first time, the guy that I wasn't comfortable with, I would say his cousin... maybe some people like him. I don't know. So I'm going to go probably not.
I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe that's not his forte. Maybe his forte is something else. And,
yeah, totally. Like not doing this. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, it's funny that you say that because there's a lot of truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe he's excellent. Maybe he's excellent with car dealerships and large accounts that ship. Maybe he's totally, rocks with them, and he's just not good. I'm also a woman, in case that was there. And maybe he mostly deals with men or something. And, and that could just be the difference, that he wasn't used to. I'm not sure that that's really the case or not, but it could be just him.
Well, let's see. Now, I'm going to answer that question, Brian. But first I want to say to you is that, Judy, in that what you're talking about is that it's interesting how you brought up dealer versus residential, and there's many types of shippers. I mean, you could be dealing with a port, you could be dealing with import-export, you could be dealing with, a major manufacturer, and they are all different. And I think some brokers are better at working with different types of customers. And yeah, maybe in his life, he didn't have the time that it takes to educate a residential customer. Because honestly, you, a customer, a resident, as a dispatcher, I'll refer to you as a resident to cut to the chase of the type of customer. A resident requires the most education and the most time.
Sure. I mean, I
Right?
know
That makes
now I
sense.
your cars, and I watched your show, so I'm a little bit more knowledgeable now.
Cool.
But I have
Thank you.
I have absolutely no knowledge of this, of how any of this works, and yet I'm not
Yeah.
stupid either. So
Well,
you
no.
kind of have that, like, you have that balance of they know nothing, but yet we can't talk to them like they're stupid either.
Yeah.
That's who I would be. That's what this customer. I mean, how many times in your lifetime do residential people ship cars usually? I bet not very often.
That's interesting you say that. Actually, nonstop. Because people move, their jobs move. A lot of individual customers, actually, their company handles all of the moving logistics.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, how often,
But-
I mean, in my life, I never thought I would twice ship a car. I thought I would always we like to drive. I thought I would drive it. I have now done it twice.
And,
I don't know that most people do that.
I read a statistic that something like a person that ships a car is likely to ship a car again in the next year.
Well, I think I fit right into that then.
There you go.
I think it's been a year and a half.
Isn't that interesting? Now, I've never shipped a car, so I know exactly what you mean. Like, why would I ever need to? And maybe in 2 years, I'll do it 6 times. It's just one of those things. It's one of those services that, like many other services in life, you don't think you'll ever need, and then suddenly you need it, and now, oh my gosh, how do I learn about it?
Yeah.
And what I think is a major challenge, I know when I first got into dispatching, I didn't understand how, so I'm a person, all right? In fact, the very first thing I did when I learned about dispatching is, okay, well, how do people find out about how to ship a car? So I type in ship a car into Google, and I get 245 million results.
Yeah.
And they all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to know what to do? You know, and so I got to go with, well, okay, 7 tips for shipping a car. Maybe that'll help me. And then I click on it, and it's just clickbait for another broker. Okay, well, that doesn't really help me. Or maybe I learned a little, but I can't talk to somebody. I agree with you. It's really hard to figure out how to get actual information about this. And until you and I talked, even on like YouTube, I think I've only seen a couple videos of actual people talking.
Well, and I think in this day and age, we're kind of trained, like we do our research before we go do stuff.
Absolutely.
So we're looking for that information.
That's right, we are.
And I guess I'm probably over that demographic age part where I don't naturally think to go to YouTube to look for information. I just Google.
That's right. I'm with you.
Now, I'm trying to remember YouTube. Go to YouTube. It shows me how to fix my dishwasher. It shows me how to do lots of things.
That's right. That's right. I do the same thing too. Now, like if I need to fix something, I go to YouTube and watch a video. So hopefully as more people learn, oh yeah, let me see if there's something on YouTube, they can find Auto Transport Intel, they can get some actual information, ask me questions, send people email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com, and I'm happy to give that information because this is a really confusing industry. And on top of it, not only do I want to educate people, but I want to help drivers earn the money they deserve to get.
Right, and I learned that I really realized that from your video when I watched it. And that's kind of like, I feel like I paid a good price for it, and I can see, like, again, I go back to it and I think, like, well, car dealerships and stuff like that probably do pay less, but if they're doing a volume of business repeatedly all the time, then that makes sense. But
well,
for me,
you know what? Economies of scale, personally, economies of scale really hurts auto transport. Because a 9-car hauler makes a lot less per car than a 3-car hauler.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that really digs into their bottom line. Same thing like a dealership. If a dealership moves 100 cars, he expects that per car rate to be significantly less than if he's just doing a dealer trade. And for the car hauler, well, his numbers didn't change.
No.
The expenses of a 9-car hauler, you don't even want to know.
Mhm.
So, anyways, so there I go. You get me started. But I really appreciate you coming on the show. Did you get your car, by the way?
The car left Friday, I think it was,
Oh,
and it went in a enclosed 3-car hauler.
cool.
Um, so, and it
Neat.
got delivered on Sunday. He got it Sunday.
Great.
So yeah, it worked out great.
Great. And you had a good experience?
Absolutely, a
Oh,
great experience.
man, that's great. And so,
Yeah.
and the questions you had, you got through them, you were satisfied. I mean, would you recommend your broker again?
Yes.
All right, that's
From,
cool.
yeah,
Jake.
yeah, he was wonderful.
He
yeah,
was.
Jake was great.
He
The
was.
driver, Eric, was wonderful from
Great.
Incognito Express, I think it was.
Great.
And I just thought he took so much care. A lot of this stuff I don't, like I said, I didn't have a lot of questions or a lot of concerns. I would have driven my car to the freeway if it made it. That's what we did last time.
Great.
It made it easier.
Yeah.
As a residential customer, if you just tell me what you need, I think, I know me, I can only speak for me, but I would think most people, we want to accommodate and make things work for everybody. Just explain it.
And the truth is, I'm going to go with Pareto's law on this, the 80-20 rule. 80% of residential customers are wonderful to work with.
Mm-hmm.
There's that 20% that it's not always their fault. They've been promised door to door and guaranteed pickup at 2 and easy peasy and all this stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, the driver's hearing this stuff. Some brokers out there won't even give your phone number to the driver, that they got to be in between and play some kind of dumb tin can game. It's crazy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe the stupid things that happen to make this process so difficult.
Yeah, I have to say that would be bothersome to me, and
Right.
either time have I had that happen, but yeah, the driver, he had my phone number.
Yeah,
he
should.
I made sure, he called my son, I told him, and if you don't get an answer, text him, a millennial, just text him. He doesn't have a mailbox set up on his phone, do all that, and it worked out wonderful.
Yeah.
If he couldn't have done that, I wouldn't have felt so secure
Exactly.
about it getting picked up. I'd be like, where's he going to leave his car? But anyway.
Yeah, awesome.
It was great, and I really,
great.
really appreciate you, and I'm sure your show is helpful to many consumers, residential people and the industry.
Now you're calling yourself a resident. I've programmed you.
Listen, I watched that, and I told my husband, I said, look, we could. I'll learn all about hauling cars. It'll be our retirement plan.
I tell you what, there's a lot, and it's funny you say that. There's a lot of people, just like there's new car haulers every day. There's a lot of people getting into auto transport brokering, and people setting up shop and become auto brokers. So.
Yeah, but I wouldn't see the world that way. You have to sit at a desk with all those monitors. I thought you had all those monitors.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So,
no, you don't want to do that. It's terrible.
You want to be out and see the world.
That's right. You want to get out and see the world.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me
welcome.
tonight, and I appreciate your time and letting me coordinate this with you, and hopefully this helps some new car shipping residential customers out there.
Yeah, I hope so. You have a great night.
All right, you too. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, cool. Wow. You know what? It is really cool to talk to, hey, thanks, the boss. It is really cool to talk to people that are the customers of this whole process, because essentially, right, they're the ones moving the cars, the reason we take the care we do, the reason for the industry in the first place, and I really hope to talk to more car shipping customers. If you're a car shipping customer and you have a question, you can email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer any question. In fact, I can now recommend a broker. I got a couple brokers that I can recommend, so let me know if I can help you out. And what was I going to do next? Let's see. It's almost 9 o'clock. So, we're going to do a quick story here. We're going to go to Dave. Before I do, Brian the car hauler. Yeah, I saw it got answered. Yeah, 30 days is 30 calendar days, which if you do the math right, that's like 2 months. All right. Let's call Dave. And then we're going to get into why hire a dispatcher. Wow. Man, look at that black screen. It's really like, what's he going to do? Like a magic trick. there's a magic trick coming up. So job says 500, 550, net 15.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jay, how are you, man?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be twins.
Oh, I know it, don't I?
How you been?
Hey, I'm good, man. You know, it was a little hairy earlier. You know, because Tuesday is show day, and I spend pretty much all day on this thing, which is
Good. Well, you're doing a fine job. I'm watching it in between my radio
sad. Oh, you're working on your radio stuff?
Yeah, I got a net on Tuesday night I've been neglecting, so I kind of stepped in there and tried to fire that back up, so I'm kind of doing both.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay. Well, we're going to make this quick. What's the story today, right? Because we're going to talk about dispatching, and I was going to say this is that to help kick you off on this idea, let's go. Oh, let's throw in the display capture there. And what we did is, man, that's pretty weird. We went to United Road, right?
Yes.
So we find a car on Central. All right? We find these cars on Central that, okay, these might make sense. They don't pay enough, but, okay, let's see if we can book them. And we found in the reference ID, we found the name of the agent at United Road, called it, no answer. And I'm thinking, well, maybe we'll text her, something like that. But you know what? Let's see if we can just book it online. So we go to the United Road site, urautoloads.com, right? We go up here, and I try to log in, and it says it needs a password. We literally spent like 10 minutes trying to get through the stupid password process. Which, by the way, since this website, I mean, yes, it recently had a bit of a facelift, but it doesn't work that well anyways. I'm not sure what all the password business is all about. But anyways, we finally get logged in, and we click in the search criteria, and we don't even see the loads that were listed on Central. What's the point? Why did we go through all that?
Well, because we care. And the deal was I picked up a car locally from a friend that wants me to go to Huntsville and back. And I'm thinking, well, that's only one car. I need 3 more cars. So they have 30-something listed through United Road, and we could not reach anybody. And I even called a different number and left a short-tailed voice message to them, and nobody ever returns that. So apparently I'm only taking one car trailer down there, so it won't do no good. But something that really got me is they're only paying $60 a car. And, yeah, it's only 120 miles, but still, $60 a car isn't enough pay to move a car. I think it should be a minimum of $100. It don't matter if it's going 70 miles or if it's going 130 miles. It should be a minimum of $100 because they're charging their customer for transportation of that vehicle. But they're not going to get it. I am. And $60, I'd rather just skip it than fool with the $60 car. Even if I had 3 of them, that's only $180. By the time you put the extra fuel in your truck to pull the extra weight that you're loading, you only get half the money anyway. So $180, you're lucky if you end up with $70 of that. You know, maybe $80 of that if you're lucky.
You know, and we talked about this. I mean, it's like I agree with everything you said. And when I talk to brokers about these rates and I ask for more money, I mean, I get a no and I get a hem and a haw, and I tell them the problems and the expenses and, whatever. It's like water cooler talk. It's like nonsense. And then maybe I can, after all that, squeeze another $25 out of them. That's like a Happy Meal.
Yeah, well, they charge these repo lots charge $60 a day or $65 a day just for the car to sit there.
Dude.
But they want you to go get it, load it on your trailer, strap it down, haul it 120 miles, unstrap it, remove it from your trailer, go over and wait for some bonehead to finally take a minute to check you in because you're just a driver, and then you get the hell out of there for $60. I don't think so.
You talking about?
I pay $65 just to get my grass cut.
You talking about the beautiful start and lurch?
Say that again.
Are you talking about the beautiful start and lurch? I guess you can't see the screen. I pulled up the I pulled up the that's a car sitting in a parking lot. There's a picture of a car sitting in a parking lot, which would assume it's a run and drive, and it kind of looks like the plant from that movie that eats people. I mean, it's unbelievable. Come on.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I'm in my office now. I can see it.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. But anyway, there should be a minimum of at least $100 to load, unload, and transport a vehicle, no matter how far it's going.
I couldn't say that any better. There needs to be a minimum of $100 to load and unload a vehicle, no matter where it's going. Period.
Yeah, and then United Roads. We've already talked about United Roads, and I'm still waiting for a little blow on that. But they're going to keep $1.25 of that $60 to cover some kind of crazy ass insurance that nobody else charges for.
Well,
so you're actually pulling it for $58.75.
Well, and you know what? Stan at Carshipio posted in the live chat. The job pays $500 COD, $550 net 15. So it's $50 just to get your money now. And you know what? I've seen other brokers post that kind of stuff. I mean, it's like, or how about, you guys know what 500/600 means? It means collect 600, you keep 500. So if you see 500/800, that means the broker's keeping 300, and you get to know about it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I understand that money.
I do too, but that's why if the car says 15/25, you get 15, and you're gonna. Why would you mess around with Happy Meal numbers? Right? That's the real question.
If you blow one tire hauling 3 of those vehicles, you're actually going to lose $100.
It should say, pick up and delivery location, and then for the carrier pay, it just says 3 Happy Meals.
The robot.
3 Happy Meals. Oh, cool. If I do 30, can I do 30-day 4 Happy Meals?
Yeah, and a donut.
And a donut and a repo car.
And they're going to keep the hole. So what about that?
Did you see the donut? There's the donut. Yeah, you get to, dude, if you do the 3 Happy Meals, you get to keep the donut.
And the donut hole.
Donut hole. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is crazy, though.
That's crazy.
I don't even see who pulls with a car for $60. Even if you haul 4 of them, you wouldn't be making any money.
And yet, here we are. We're still talking about it, like we have to justify this stuff. Can you believe that?
You load and strap 4 cars, it's gonna take you at least 45 minutes to an hour to load and strap 4 cars, and that's if they're right there. So let's figure you got 2.5 hours worth of work just putting them on and taking them off the trailer.
And yet you've got people lined around the block to walk into Starbucks and pay $5 for a coffee, Dave.
Yeah.
They should. I think Starbucks. That's right. Starbucks needs to get in the car hauling business. I'm telling you.
That's crazy, man. Your new shirt really looks good, man.
Oh, you like that?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you like that?
You see this sexy body in that.
That's
man.
what's.
You're gonna have to buy 400 more of them.
That's what's coming to you, man. You're gonna get the. You're getting that T-shirt. It's been ordered, and I don't know. I guess you'll get it in probably a couple weeks once I.
My belly is gonna look good in that shirt.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, and I'm gonna get the coffee mug in about a week. I don't have a coffee mug. It'll be the first coffee mug, and I'll put it on set here. It'll be one of my set pieces. So
yes,
pretty excited about it. All right, man. Listen, I promised to do a dispatching show, so I better get to it.
All right, baby. We'll talk to you.
Hey, man. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so, yeah, the truth is I think I'm behind schedule on my dispatching show. So let's go talk about dispatching. Let's go ahead and move Dave off screen there. Let's go ahead and move that. And I guess we're still live. Even though I'm telling you, My screen here says offline. It's the craziest thing. I don't understand it. Okay. But I see you guys. So how much just for the shirt? Okay, I'm glad you asked me that. So here's the deal. Right now, I I sound like some kind of like late night infomercial guy. But be that as it may. Right now, I only am offering these packages. I'm not selling the shirt by itself or anything because I don't have the process to do that. I need to get that stuff in place before I can mass produce and start selling the stuff. I don't have that ability yet. I literally just started doing some of this merchandise, and the channel needs your support. So right now, it's just the gate pass, the greenhorn, the mix, or the VIP, and that's what I've got. So it'll change, it'll develop, it'll expand, it'll get better, but that's where we're at today. And I appreciate that. Okay, so let's talk, man. What is going on with dispatching? I mean, why would you hire a dispatcher? Do you need a dispatcher? And let's go ahead and go, guys, you know that I'm a dispatcher, right? Okay, that's how this all got started. I'm a car hauling dispatcher. I started dispatching, let's see, it's 2018, carry the one, about 6 years ago. All right, which feels like a lifetime, believe me. But you know what? Everything can feel like a lifetime given the right set of circumstances. So, having been a dispatcher this long, I've even talked to people that have said, dispatchers are gonna be obsolete. Dispatchers are a waste of time. I do all my own dispatching. Dispatching is too expensive. I have heard it all. I really have. I feel like I have. You can tell because I got lines on my face. So, but I've got answers to those questions, and I want to get to that tonight. So that's what this show is all about. Why hire a dispatcher? All right, let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, you get a much faster response time to brand new listed loads. You know this. If you're a driver and you're driving, there's no way. I know you can get instant notifications. By the way, you can either hire a dispatcher or spend that money on instant notifications, and you still have to do all the work. Just because you get instantly notified doesn't mean you're going to get that car, doesn't mean you're in the middle of turning a corner, doesn't mean you're in the middle of your 30-minute break or getting a DOT shakedown or waiting in line at the port or walking a mile at the Mannheim. It doesn't mean you have the ability to make that phone call. Whereas a dispatcher, I'm sitting at a desk, I literally have no life at all, and I'm staring at computer screens. I am the guy that can see the car and react right away. All right? And I've got screens. That's why I got screens behind me. That's why only one of them works. Because I make dispatcher money. Okay. All right, so much faster response time to brand new listed loads. It's true. It's indisputable. And you know what? Over time, this is why a lot of drivers, they don't hire a dispatcher, but then they want to see if their wife can do it, or their girlfriend, or their kids, or the uncle, grandparents, whoever. Because it really helps to have somebody sitting at a computer staring at it. And I'm not talking about just a phone, right? That's a really small screen. I'm talking about a laptop or a computer. But by the way, hats go off to Sean at Ocean Roads Transport. He is probably the best dispatching driver I have ever met. So it is possible to drive and not have a dispatcher. Okay. What's an average rate improvement for your negotiations? I gotta go back and read, man. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. All right. Overall company phone call and logistics efficiency. There are so many other phone calls that need to take place other than just calling loads. I mean, you've got brokers calling. They've got, hey, can you go from New Mexico to Botswana? Or, hey, we send it over. You guys going to accept it? Can I get the certificate of insurance? How many ratings do you have? You know what? I can't find your address. I mean, there are so many questions. That's just questions coming in. What about questions going out? Just because I got the load doesn't mean it's up, easy peasy done. I got to call the pickup location. I got to call the customer. And now I got to call the customer's brother. And now I got to call, make sure the hair salon has the right hair color ready for the customer so that we can meet him at 2 o'clock at the end of the driveway. I mean, there are a million calls. Not to mention you got to search, verify the address because the listed address is wrong, the phone number is wrong, the year, make, and model is wrong. I mean, there are so many things to do as a dispatcher. Forget about it. I don't want to do it. You know what? Yeah, you do it. Forget it. You can't hire me. I'm not available. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. So, helps improve road safety for the driver. Can you imagine how dangerous it is for the driver to try and make all of these stinking phone calls and drive a truck? By the way, what's the whole purpose of the egg timer, right? The egg timer's purpose is to make the roads safer. And how are you going to have safe roads if I got to call the loads right when they're listed because there's a million other guys trying to make a living and that thing's going to be gone like Donkey Kong, and now, I'm calling the load, I'm trying to get down the road, I'm trying to keep a car strapped on, I'm trying to make sure the guy in front of me doesn't cut me off, and I go shooting through his windshield, and I'm trying to book a load, and now I got to get the insurance certificate, make sure the address isn't wrong, call the hair salon. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm keeping you guys safe. I want to help keep you guys safe. All right. Maintain better organization of the dispatch dashboard and electronic documents. How are you going to make all of these phone calls, drive safely, and stay organized? What, on your 30-minute break? Please. 30-minute breaks are probably filled with personal phone calls, right? You can't wait to stop for your 30-minute break so you can check in with the dentist and the DMV and the high school and God knows that's hair salon again. You got to call the hair salon. Dude, and there's no way to stay organized in your truck, on your phone, booking loads. There's no way. Forget about it. There is a way. But, we all got to have somebody to help us stay organized. Look at how disorganized I am. All right. Okay, help troubleshooting after the unexpected happens out on the road. You should have thought of that. In the ELD world of egg timers, you should have planned for that. You should have thought of that. You should have known everything ahead of time. You got to know the future, read people's minds. What is it with this guy? All right, but you don't know the unexpected. And when you need help in the middle of nowhere, guess who you call? Your dispatcher. The dispatcher will help in any way they can because frankly they want to help you stay on schedule so they can get paid because you need to get paid so they can get paid. You can move on to the next car. I don't know how many times I have gotten random phone calls early, late, weekends, whatever, and I help the driver get back on track. I know that me being available to make a phone call, do a Google search, helped in ways we can't even calculate. Oh, so you say the dispatcher's not worth it? Are you kidding me? Okay. All right, improve company branding and professionalism with shippers and customers. Everybody likes to know that there's somebody answering the phone, able to open the door, able to go to the mailbox, able to do those office things that need to get done. To make sure the fax machine's actually plugged in, to make sure that, the email's working, or did you get my email? Did you get my phone call? Did you get my voicemail? Did you remember to take the laundry and go to the hair salon? There's so much to do. You guys know this. Every business needs more than one employee. You can do it yourself, but over time, as you want to grow your revenue, you're probably going to need to add somebody else to your business. And as an owner-operator in car hauling, that first person you can add is a dispatcher. You don't have to. I'm booked. I can't take on more drivers. But I'm telling you, when you ask me, should I get a dispatcher? I'm giving you the reasons why you really should think about it. But you may not need a dispatcher right away. And also, I want to say this. As a new car hauler, don't hire a dispatcher day one. Maybe talk to a dispatcher, maybe consider getting one soon, but you need to learn what it's like to dispatch so that when you have a dispatcher, you fully appreciate them. I have worked with brand new car haulers, and that's fine. We all start somewhere, but when you're brand new, I don't think you realize the gravity of what a dispatcher actually does for your business. Okay, let's get going. Increases networking opportunities and new information for future business. We're on the phone all day. We're talking to customers, brokers, dealers. Not only did number 6, we help improve your company branding and professionalism, but that rubs off into number 7. They may want to do business with us again because we're a well-oiled machine and we know what we're talking about. So, assuming your dispatcher's worth a darn. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're screwing up 1 through 7. I don't know. I hope not. All right, improve route planning and strategic feedback. I didn't put it high on the list because now that we've done so many other things, a dispatcher is looking at your spreadsheet because they're thinking about their money, they're thinking about your money, and maybe they see some patterns that are not working or are working, and maybe you haven't had the time because you're so busy in the truck doing everything that you haven't had time to actually reflect on what works, what doesn't work, and it's just, it's good to have a second opinion. So, which is why you guys are in the live chat giving me second opinions. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's your email address. Definitely. Hey, Donna, welcome to the show. I think it's your first time in here. Cool. Talking to DP Dispatch. That's awesome. Okay, number 9. Help maintain 100% positive rating. Absolutely, I have done this. I have helped many carriers go from a 97 or a 98 back to 100. And that's important because there are always reasons. Listen, as a dispatcher, I'm looking for reasons why the car needs to pay more. And as a broker, they're looking for reasons why they need a better carrier. And if you don't have a 100% rating, they're going to hold that against you as often as possible. A dispatcher can help you maintain that 100%. If there's a miscommunication, they're answering the phone. They can help smooth it out. In fact, just like, I agree with people being in the ecosystem. The shipper has a broker, the driver has a dispatcher. If a driver has a conflict with a broker, maybe the dispatcher can be the go-between and work it out. I've actually done that too. So that's another reason. And number 10, business peace of mind. Don't you want to have somebody minding the store, as they say? When the owner's out handling the million things that need to get done, you want somebody actually at the store, at the counter, so a customer can walk in the door, so that somebody can call on the phone, so someone can send a fax, make sure it went through. It's really good to have somebody actually at the the location of the business, even if it's online or in cyberspace or wherever. Alrighty, so there's my 10 reasons. Now I also want to get into why not. I said why not. I think what I meant to say was these are reasons why you don't hire a dispatcher. And I say this because, again, I've been to Central Dispatch, I've been to the classified ads, and I'm a little confused on what's going on there. You can go to Central Dispatch. Let's get a different, not that one. Okay, you can go to Central Dispatch. Did you guys know this? Go to Central Dispatch and go to Resources and go to Classifieds, okay? And then you can type, classified search, just type in Dispatch, search all the classifieds, and hit search. And you can get listings of dispatch services, okay? Now, I'm a little confused at what some of these dispatch services are offering. So I'm going to talk about that. Because in my mind, a dispatcher doesn't do everything. A dispatcher clearly doesn't do the dry cleaning, right? Okay, we can all agree on that. But there's a lot of things I think dispatchers are listing that they're going to do. I don't think they should be doing. And I'm going to tell you why. So I don't get it. I've never done it. Looking for licensing help, act as a secretary, an accountant, or a personal assistant. Listen, if you need your MC authority, you need to handle that. I'm not going to do your MC authority for you, nor do you want me, you don't want to hire me to do that. I am not an MC authority expert, and really, I don't think it takes that much to file an MC authority. Those are your documents. Are you going to have me go to the DMV and get your driver's license? I don't think so. Are you going to have me go take your CDL test? No. Listen, I think you should do your own legal documents. I think you should set up your own LLC. I think you should do your own taxes. I wouldn't hire me to do IFTA, to pick up your dry cleaning, to take your test. I'm sorry. I know I'm being a little cruel with what I'm saying, but I don't get it. Now, there are larger companies that do handle more of these services, or there are individuals that you can make kind of as your partner, and they can handle these for you. That's another level. I wouldn't call that your average dispatcher. So I'm just saying, just think about it. Just think about these things. And then I know Mike is going to help set me straight on some of this. But as your average dispatcher, I don't get it on this line, okay? And also, more importantly, do not use words like promise, guarantee, exactly, or easy peasy. Don't do it, all right? In car hauling, there are no promises. In auto transport, there is no guarantee in any shape or form. I don't care if you're the shipper, the broker, the customer, the driver, or the dispatcher. Nothing is exactly as planned. That goes for the ELD. You can plan all you want to. You should plan. But don't use the word exactly. And on the same token, don't use the stupid phrase easy peasy. Nothing's easy peasy. Oh my gosh. I'm going to lose it. All right, how much for all this? Okay? So I stated the 10 things that you should expect, the 2 things you should not expect. How much is it? You guys agree? All right. Thank goodness. I'd hate to be out on this limb all by myself, though it wouldn't be the first time. Okay, here we go. How much? How much do you think it should cost? What do you pay? A flat fee? Is it a percentage? Okay, here we go. It is a percentage of every load successfully booked and successfully delivered. Now, it's a load. If I'm your dispatcher and I booked the load, if we talked about it and I booked it, it's still I booked it and you pick it up and deliver, you owe me a percentage of that load. It's the agreed upon percentage. But I'm giving a range here because I'm trying to be reasonable on this. You never want to give out your exact dollars unless it's to your exact client. Exactly. Easy peasy. Okay, but there is a range. Now, I think on the 10% range, this is where they'll do your dry cleaning and take your CDL test and all that stuff. I think they're charging 10%. But frankly, I understand 10%. I don't charge 10. I also don't charge 6. I'm in the middle. But I'm not in the exact middle, and every client is a little different. Now, the thing is that when you get into, maybe you can do a 9 car, you could do 6% per load because they're dealing with the economies of scale. So you may have to find yourself negotiating on that, but that's the range. Now, what I tell drivers too that I work with, if you have a customer, the customer calls you and you handle it, I'm not in on that money. All right? I don't need to be in the middle, I don't need to be laying in bed between you and your wife. Listen, it's not like that. I'm your dispatcher. All right? I do 1 through 10. I help you stay on track, but we're not tied to each other and we don't want to be. You don't want me signing on your behalf. You don't want me running to the bank. You know what happens if I'm running to the bank and taking your CDL test? Guess what? I'm missing loads. So you don't want me missing. The whole point of having a dispatcher is to not miss loads. And if you start having me do your dry cleaning, I'm probably going to start missing loads, and then we've lost sight of the whole fact. All right? Okay. These wannabes, dude. Okay, all right. There we say. But listen, man. There are people in every industry that can do things and help out And so let's do this. We're going to take this opportunity right now. We're going to go to Eric, all right? I told you this would be a long show. I hope you guys ate your Wheaties, because we got another hour easily. Holy mackerel.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm always having fun when I start talking about auto transport. So, listen, we'll try to keep this brief, but I don't know if you're watching the show right now or not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you see my list of bullet points here.
Yes.
So you also had some of your own questions. So where can we start? What can I answer for you? I think I tried to answer a few here, but I expect you still have some questions. And Eric, yeah, please.
You answered a lot of them,
Okay.
but like last week when we were talking, like I just had to put a new transmission in my vehicle. What happens, I got to run a little lighter than normal because I got to break the transmission in. It ain't like I can run fully loaded, fully heavy, so I'm just going to burn up a new transmission. Is the dispatcher able to accommodate for stuff like that?
Good. That's a great question. Very specific. I like that. I'm going to say yes. If I was your dispatcher, and really anybody I recommend, I would assume will say what I'm going to say. Although I can't control that, right? No guarantee, no promise. But I would think that I would think that a dispatcher that you're working with would say, yeah, listen, if you can't do full capacity, let's do what you can do, right? And we'll just, and also I'll say this. This is going out to the dispatchers. I personally have learned a lot by working with carriers that have different constraints or a temporary issue going on. It's taught me a lot. So what's your capacity when you're running at full capacity? What size trailer do you have?
I can usually run like three, say like F-150s on my truck. I got a 50-foot trailer, and I got enough overhang on the front that I could put like three full-size pickups on the truck. Regular pickups, not like oversized pickups. The regular size pickup, I could put three of them on there, no problem.
I love that because I can't always do that. What's your home city area?
Detroit, Michigan area.
Oh my gosh, I would die to work with you. Detroit is made of money when it comes to car hauling and trucks. Oh my God, forget about it. I would send you to Texas and Louisiana like every night.
I wish I could find those. I'm actually out in Colorado right now trying to find runs, and I'm actually having to basically deadhead them towards Arizona to fill them.
Exactly. Colorado's a killer. I did a video about that, and it was talks about stress of dispatching. You might get a kick out of watching that video, but yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like you could not only could you use a dispatcher, but I would think a dispatcher would want your business because, I mean, the area you're in and the ability to haul what you can haul, sure, I would definitely go through the temporary issues with you that you're having and, help you figure that out. And then when you're ready to run full steam, let's all make some money. That's what I would say.
Right.
For sure. And now, but the question is on you. Would you be willing to pay 6 to 10% of every load booked?
Not knowing the full aspects of the dispatching, again, like I told you the other day, I'm still like a greenhorn to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I've been driving for almost 40 years now.
Okay.
Not 40 years, like 30 years. I've always driven. I've never had to do the business end. I've never had to do my own dispatching. It was always go pick up here, drop off here, go pick up here. So a lot of this is new to me. I'm learning the dispatching, how to dispatch myself around, but it's a hassle. I mean, in between computers, some people will take the CarShip.io program and will sign my paperwork for me right on my phone. There's other people that still want paper documentation. So now I'm carrying a printer around in the truck with me. I'm carrying, tons of stuff that just it makes it a hassle for me.
Well, And, you know, right now we're in the middle of a technological transition. And during transition, you know, that's just the way transitions are. We will get through this paper electronic issue. But I'll tell you, Mike Niekoff is chomping at the bit in the live chat to, I guess, take you on. He's got a dispatch service, and actually, I'm talking to him after we talk. So,
Okay.
yeah, maybe he's going to set you up with your next dispatcher.
I'd definitely like to hear what he has to say about it. And again, I have no problem running. I don't want to throw names, but I worked for some of the worst truck driving companies out there to a few of the really good ones in my lifetime. I just got tired of making the big guy the money instead of it coming to me, so to say, when I'm out there doing 90% of the work, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going back onto the whole dispatching thing. A lot of the stuff that I was asking you for, you kind of got it in your list there. You know, the pros and cons of hiring a dispatcher, the rate of pay. I get calls and texts all the time, emails out of the blue. I don't know if they're going on the website, they're finding my name somewhere,
Yeah.
and they're just randomly sending it. But it's like, okay, if I was looking, I'm going to contact you. Why are you contacting me over this? Are you, you know, is this a scam? That was one of my things. Is somebody trying to scam in on something, or what's, you know, or is that a common thing that, you know, you're looking to fill slots? You've had it personally as a dispatcher, have open slots where you can dispatch more people. You're out looking for somebody, or is this just somebody trying to make a fast buck and, oh yeah, go pick all this stuff up and there's nothing there?
I love your feedback, because you just answered the question why years ago, when I was just dispatching, no channel, none of this stuff, it was really hard to find new carriers, even with all the marketing efforts. And what's happened is, I think a lot of companies are on the, when you sign up with, like when you applied for your MC Authority or any kind of do your IRP, however, whatever process you're going through, companies are getting a hold of your name through the mailing list. They're contacting you, and it feels like spam. And what's interesting is, now that I'm doing this channel, I have more people asking me to do their dispatching than I mean, like 10 times what I ever got before. It's unbelievable. So now I know 4 years ago, I should have had a YouTube channel about dispatching. But that's cool. It's water under the bridge. I'm here now. But yeah, I'm happy to say to you, I don't think everyone's a scammer. It's just that when you're inundated, it's hard to know what to do. It's the same thing with a car shipping customer getting inundated with broker phone calls when they only filled out one form. They don't understand it. It feels strange. So I'm really glad you found me, because I do want to answer your questions. First, I want to say this. Before I forget, is the question of invoicing is being talked about in the live chat. Personally, I don't do invoicing when I'm a dispatcher. There are other dispatchers that will do your invoicing, but again, I say this. If I'm taking my eye off of brand new loads being listed, I am failing you as one of the primary functions of being your dispatcher. Now, maybe I have an invoicing person that I work with, and so you're literally hiring more than just me as your dispatcher, but I don't want to do all the invoices. I'll help you follow up with a phone call, but I don't want to. I knew a guy that would actually sit there and do the invoices, and I thought, dude, you're missing cars. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of, at least to me, it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, that's like giving you control of your company over too, in a way, I feel, and I don't want to necessarily do that.
That's right. That's why you would never ask me to do your MC Authority, would you?
No.
Exactly. I mean, I just don't understand that at all. You wouldn't ask me to do your IFTA, would you?
No, not anything that has to do with my personal licensing or anything that, you know.
Exactly.
That one thing you don't remember that I need to know in that paperwork.
Oh my gosh.
I'm shut down.
Exactly. Can you imagine if I said I'll do your MC Authority and then you end up shut down at the DOT for 10 grand?
Exactly.
Oh, are you kidding me? No way. This is why average people should not try to practice law. We can talk all we want and we can speculate as much as we want, but we should never try to act like we're giving legal counsel or acting as an agent on one's behalf. It's a terrible mistake. So, this is actually the first time I've ever talked about this publicly when I'm recording a video, but I think there are some huge mistakes out there with regards to what people are offering as a dispatcher.
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's, like I said, the billing and stuff, that's kind of giving business over. No, I want to know what the final numbers are. I want to be the one that's doing that kind of stuff.
That's right.
But, I mean...
So let me say this.
A lot of the...
On the money, because the money, like if I could tell you, okay, I can do this, but I can't guarantee this is the plan. But if I can tell you that one of my goals as your dispatcher is to make sure that 6 to 10% is something I ask for on top of the posted rate. Because if a car is posted for 500 and I can get another 10% on top of that as the carrier rate, then I've actually paid for the services that you have to pay me for. I've covered the cost. That's one of my personal goals. So if it's listed at 500, my goal is to get it for 550, and that way I've covered the cost of you having to pay me. Which isn't bad.
And that's understandable. To me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this the run I brought down here, the guy was really cheap, but he wanted it done, and we went back and forth for a while. And he came up another $600, but actually made this run here. The one I brought down multiple cars, but the one car ended up being almost $1.50 per mile. Just going back and forth with the guy and dealing with the guy, and I mean that's just more money in everybody's pocket. But a lot of these guys that have contacted me want a flat rate. Are they going to offer me the same guarantee that they're going to hustle, like you're saying, for the percentage to get a little bit more?
Yeah, there's no incentive. Why would they? Why would you hustle for a flat rate? I don't understand flat rates. Not in this type of business. But here, let me say this too. Anything I say can and will be wrong. Okay. I should have used the word wouldn't. Okay. So, I mean, the thing is, I give these opinions, but again, it's not legal counsel. These are my opinions. This is based on my experience. Maybe there are flat rate companies that are killing it. Maybe. There might be dispatchers that are doing amazing jobs invoicing. That could be true. I also want to say this because I saw Davison's comment, is that I also do other things while I'm looking for loads, right? I'm not a robot either, I'm probably going to go get a cup of coffee, something like that. Although I don't go anywhere for lunch. I never go anywhere for lunch. I eat lunch at my desk. I'm also saying these things to rein in the expectations. No carrier should expect a dispatcher to flat out just take care of everything, including the dry cleaning. I think it's gone too far. I think that a dispatcher should be expected to look for loads, book loads, get more money, make 1 million phone calls. That's what dispatchers do.
All right. And that makes a lot of sense. But, I mean, like I said, when I first got into this, it's just like I got slammed by them.
Yeah, right. Did you talk to any of them?
A couple of them. I being new to it, being screwed in the past. I don't know if that's the best word to use, but being burnt in the past, I'm kind of worried about who I bring on or who I have come help me do anything. Usually it's my wife or one of my kids that are riding with me when I'm out on the road to help me along and get stuff done. But
right. That's right. You've enlisted, I say this, you've enlisted family members to help you fill in this gap, because essentially you really need somebody to do this stuff. I mean, there are drivers and owner-operators that are able to do it. And I know one personally. I mean, it's amazing. It can be done. It just is very difficult. And so I think sometimes someone that's been around really realizes that, okay, I'm going to get a dispatcher and then use a dispatcher for a year, kind of get some of it figured out, and then maybe wean themselves off the dispatcher. I've seen that too. So, what else? What other direct questions could I answer for you? Because I want to.
Trying to stay on service here with like the dispatch and stuff. I mean, I've gone back and forth with you about a couple of different things. My big thing was like the rates, and you actually kind of covered that at the 6 to 10%, and the pros and cons. I mean, I can't believe how many times that I've gotten just the random calls and stuff like that ever since I started, and I'm just a matter of finding out how legit are the people. Now, you guys can go and look and see our authority. Is there a way for us to go and check on, like, a dispatcher's history if they have, you know what I'm saying?
No, there isn't. That's a really good question. There's no way to verify if a dispatcher is any good or has a track record. You're just going off of an ad that you found. It's a huge problem. Maybe Auto Transport Intel can help somehow. Maybe I can start talking to more dispatchers. Other than that, other than just promoting myself and making everybody enjoy listening to me say these things, I don't know if there is any kind of verification or rating system. I mean, this is where, when you're dealing with an independent contractor, I don't know, what do you go to, Angie's List or Better Business Bureau, or where do you go, right? I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't think there is anything other than, but you know what? Brokers have the same thing. Shipping customers go to brokers' websites, see pictures of trucks, and they assume that the broker has trucks, but they don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a phone. It should be a picture of a phone, right? It should say, "Hi, we're your car shipping broker, and we have a phone."
Right.
Okay, that's mean and unnecessary, but it's kind of true. Is that, how do you verify what somebody has? This is why I think that, I did a show on social media, and as a driver, really this could apply to you too, is that one of the best ways to promote your business and share actual verifiable information is through social media. So I would look for the dispatchers that are trying to put themselves out there. So maybe you heard about them through an email. You can also see them on Central Dispatch. I would go next with a phone call, and just like the lady shipping a car. Did you have any phone calls with any dispatchers that you felt comfortable with? Or, I don't know.
I mean, I have some questions, but I don't. It was more like, okay, I got to go. I'm driving. I kind of like blew them off for the most part because I don't, being burnt in the past. I want information, but on the same hand, I want to be the one that's, looking for the information so I know I'm getting the right information, so to say, not just people calling me and blowing a bunch of hot air, to try to get my business.
Yeah. Well, you know what I was going to say is, what's cool about what you're saying right now is literally we're going to go into the interview with Mike, who runs the dispatch service, and I wonder if I could, what I could do is I could conference call him in. You want to try that?
We can give it a try if you want.
Yeah, let's see if that works. That's crazy. Okay. We're live. We're still live, right? I think is this thing still on? Okay. All right. Let's see here. I hope this works. This should work. I hope I know. I think I know how to use my phone.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Mike, I just conferenced you in with Eric. Are you here?
Eric's still here.
Oh, yeah, I can hear Eric, and I definitely hear you as well.
Wow. All right, so listen, this is a total experiment. We're live, and I just put a carrier in a conference call with a dispatch company. Hopefully that was a good idea.
It can't be. It all depends on the question and, basically the requirements of what the carrier is looking to do. There's a lot of different limitations. As we say, we kind of cover routes required, routes want to take in, the registered weight of the combination, and so forth. There's just a lot of different variables that you always have to consider when you sign on a carrier for dispatching services.
Well, my biggest thing when I first signed on was I got like slammed, not necessarily by you, but I'm gonna say by people like you that dispatch people, and being burnt in the past, I kind of like blow them off for the most part because I wasn't really looking.
Hey, let me jump in. Question for you: what happened? How did you get burned? What happened?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know too. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. Or actually, I should say, a nightmare stories I hear of people being burnt mostly by dispatchers or dispatcher wannabes, as we call them. So I'd definitely like to hear how exactly you got burned.
I'm not good. I don't want to put a company out there, but
yeah,
I
no
had
names.
one company.
Yeah, no names.
My girlfriend at the time ended up in the emergency room, and they had these quote-unquote so many emergency tokens, so we would be directed directly home, or even flown home, or whatever the case was. I ended up being stuck out in the truck for almost a month before I got back to Michigan to be there with my girlfriend at the time. And it was them, quote-unquote, trying to find me a way home, knowing other drivers that work for the same company. I'm finding that they were in my home, delivering to my hometown 5 or 6 times that month, where I was in the same place they picked up at. And it just over and over again, I had issues with that, with companies. With this, running as a car hauler, I haven't actually dealt with it, the dispatcher end, but more than once dealing with the broker, show up for a car and the car's not there. A lot of people list it right on there if the car's not there. Oh, wow, type deal. They got a clause in there. Some of them have worked with me, a bunch of them haven't. So it's like, okay, what's to pull me towards that dispatcher? Because everybody's in it for like a bottom dollar line, so to say. What's to pull me to go with the dispatcher to know that he's going to do what I need him to do, and not just make his couple $100 off of me and be happy with that couple $100 and leave me sitting the rest of the time. Saying there's nothing out there or whatever the case is. Knowing better, it's like get on dispatch.
If you don't mind me jumping.
Yeah, do it.
The story you were saying, it definitely sounds like a nightmare story. Being stuck somewhere for 8 months. But if you ask my honest professional opinion, I'd like to refer to myself as a professional in the field of dispatching. We've been doing it for over 12 years. We've done, we're currently loaded 92 trucks. We did 96. We had 4 dropped, most of them due to EOD reasons. Jay, you can sip on your favorite drink. The biggest issue I'm seeing is that kind of falls on you, man. For you waiting 8 months, being stuck with somebody, you should either had your finances set up straight, because you have to understand that dispatchers don't hold your finances, right? A true dispatcher will not hold your finances. If you had the finances set correctly, I can't see anybody in their right mind, and don't get me wrong, I'm not calling you out, but I'm just saying, sitting there for 8 months waiting for the right dispatch to get you home.
No, it was just over a month, not 8 months, just over a month by the time they actually got me home. And I mean, it was a nightmare. I actually dropped the trailer off at one of the locations and got headed back because they were not dispatching.
All right, I'm going to jump in here. So what I'm going to say is this: is that it sounds to me, I think you did get burned, and I think what happened is I think your dispatcher. This is a guess, but I think your dispatcher, number one, you and your dispatcher didn't communicate well, and that is the red flag of an upcoming problem. Your dispatcher may have gotten frustrated or confused and decided just to give up and stop really kind of book hard for you, or your dispatcher just didn't have the skills to figure out how to actually route you properly. I'm going to guess it could be both of those things. I mean, I'm going to say this too. I have screwed up. I have screwed up with drivers before. I have
We all did.
my track. Yeah, my track record's not 100%. And I feel bad about the business relationships in the past that didn't work out. Hopefully, I learned something from that, and I try to move on. And so, but I know I've miscommunicated with drivers before, and when I say miscommunicate, I'm saying one thing, the driver's saying a different thing, and we just never get on the same page. That should not go on for more than a month. People need to part ways and go do something else, go find another relationship. It didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, that just needs to happen. If you miscommunicate for 30 days, it's over.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay, now
right.
there's something I'd like to jump into. If I understood this correctly, you also work for a company, right? And that company
Yes.
is dispatching you. So you number
Yes.
one alert, and I always tell all the drivers that we dispatch for, I am the front face of my dispatching company. If you ever have an issue with a dispatcher and a communication issue for more than 3 days, you call me right away. I am the person that will solve this problem immediately. And if it comes to a point of actually switching you into a different dispatch team, I will do that immediately. There is no reason for you to sit there. What I'm looking at is this. If you're paying me for the services and I can't provide you a good service, there is no reason for you to even deal business with me, period, right? So what I always do is and you can get feedback from all of my guys that we load, I always touch base with the drivers. I always make sure that the driver is happy with the dispatcher. If they're not seeing something that they like, or something maybe the dispatcher didn't answer correctly, or they're slacking elsewhere, or they're not following up as the driver is requesting them to do, I want to know. Because my main goal is to make you happy. If you're happy, you're making money, we're making money. That's the only way you have to look at it in the auto transport business, right? If you had a communication issue or any issue with the dispatcher for this long, it still falls under you. You should have contacted the owner of the company and let him know, look, I'm having an issue with the dispatcher. I can't get back to home when I clearly told the dispatcher I want to get home. So,
I did do all that. A lot of that I did do. I did go to the supervisors of the company, and after that,
yeah, Eric, you got screwed. I mean, you did. You, for whatever reason, you were dealing with folks that either didn't want to help you, thought they had tried, but they gave up. They gave up on you. I mean, that's what this is, the story of a service provider that gave up on the contractor.
yeah.
And that sucks. And so I would hope that, well, personally, let me say this. I know Mike runs the kind of company that truly cares about the people he works with. That's why he's on the show tonight in the time slot. I mean, I put in a blind phone conference call between him and you because I trust Mike.
right.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks for. And I actually think it's a really good exercise as well. This is something for others viewing to experience of what we as a dispatching company usually look for and try to help out. Although we really highly concentrate in dispatching, we also assist. And when I say assist, I mean, being in this field for so long, we have contacts. If we can't find you an answer, we always let you know, look, give me some time, and I'm not talking about days, months. Give me literally an hour or two. I'll get you help that I think will definitely be beneficial to you. Jake isn't late. He called me the other day. It was a few months back, but he called me asking me that the driver needed to bring his truck back home. He wasn't able to do so. The truck was loaded. It required the loads to be taken to the port or get delivered within time. Thankfully, through the channel of having so many truckers available that we work with, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like maybe an hour at most.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And he was so happy. It was so fast. It was amazing what you did.
Yeah, and we had already a truck routed to him. We literally unhooked his truck from the trailer, hooked up another truck to that trailer, and made a delivery. And it wasn't a small run. It was a Maryland to New York run. So, I know that guy was happy. I don't remember the gentleman's name, unfortunately, but he was super happy. He followed up afterwards with us trying to get dispatch services. But as we say, something that you mentioned is, hey, maybe I'll let my family try, I'll let my cousin try, I'll let my friend try. I don't really think I'm ready for the dispatch service yet. That was one of those cases. I have not heard from them since. I really hope his business is still striving
Right.
to where he was planning to have it be.
And it's interesting. I'm going to say this too, Mike. What you accomplished, I couldn't have done it. I was so happy that I could contact you. I didn't know what to do. It wasn't it wasn't a dispatching problem. It was like it was like a carrier problem.
Oh yeah, and we like to call, like I said, we have our own auto carriers department too. We have our own trucks, and we do dispatching that's aside of our carrier side. And anybody in the carrier, because I've been in the truck myself for a while. I know what it is when you get stranded. So I always still go back to the brotherhood of good truckers, back in the day truckers, when truckers actually cared about one another. Unfortunately, you're not really seeing this today.
Well, you know what? It is out there, but yeah, there's a lot of there's
very scarce, man. It's very scarce.
Yeah.
It's minimum,
No, I mean it's a tough world. So
yeah, nowadays drivers will take a picture, post it on Facebook, and just drive away. That's what we have now.
Well, everybody wants to talk about leaving a car at storage and sending the bill to, and that's that's fun and all, but it's not really the answer. But there's a lot, and like repo lots. I'm just gonna say this. I talk to repo lots, and I still I've argued with major brokers. I've argued with major repo lots. I'm like, please, can somebody explain to me why the car is still sitting there? Doesn't anybody want to move a car?
Oh yeah, we get that all the time, man.
Right.
You and me are both on the same boat.
It's crazy.
So, unfortunately, with multiple holes in it, so we don't have enough fingers to cover all the holes.
No, we don't. So, I've got your website on the screen here. I got your contact info. So, can people call you and email you, Mike?
Anytime.
Right. That's your phone number. That's your email.
Yep.
And same thing for Eric. If Eric is
Yes.
if you're thinking maybe this one would work, there's a phone number and an email address for you. You could talk to Mike some more, and but you don't have to go with him. I know other dispatchers as well, but since we're on the phone right now, I guess I would imagine you might want to call him first.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome, because I'll tell you what, and I think that Mike and we both feel the same way. The last thing we want to do is see you talk to someone else, get frustrated, and lose total confidence in this part of the ecosystem.
Right.
We don't, but
Well, like,
I cut you off. Did I lose you?
I'm still here.
I think I lost Eric. Maybe.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, he's still here. Okay, cool. Well, listen, man, I'll Mike, stay on the line. Eric, I'm going to let you go. Listen, man, thanks so much for joining the show tonight. I love talking to carriers, dispatchers, brokers, customers, and I love answering new questions. And actually, this is a timeless question. Why do I need a dispatcher? So, thanks so much for joining me on the show tonight, Eric.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, and let me email me or Facebook me if you have more questions, okay?
All right, sure will.
All right, thanks, man.
Good luck, Eric.
Okay, cool. So we're still here, Mike.
If you don't mind, can you jump to your list of why hire a dispatcher? There's a few little things I wanted to add to your list, although I believe you covered a lot.
Yeah.
There's just some little things here and there I kind of want to pitch in as far as,
Cool.
where we see gray area of a lot of, especially new haulers who join the game, get lost or actually don't know what they're doing as far as getting loads across. It's not just about jumping the first load on Central to book whatever's out there and trying to hassle the price. It's not just about that. If we do consider about the faster response, yes, we definitely cover faster response. We have multiple dispatchers who are strictly, I can't even call them dispatchers, let me rephrase, they're actually load hunters is what we call them
Right.
at our company.
Nice.
All they do literally is sit and hunt loads. We have a dispatching team that dispatches multiple carriers. A lot of them are actually stingers. And what happens is we have what we see a lot of trend now with the EOD kicking in is a lot of these stinger drivers are now becoming teams, right? So technically truck does not stop. What we do sometimes is with these drivers, they also don't want to do one pick, one drops anymore. They do, they're thinking of it like this. Well, I'd rather spend a day picking up loads within a certain radius, but yet still it's a lot better than one pick, one drop. And let's not call out United, although I did. They pay change, considering to what you pick up as a full load. So
Yeah.
we have drivers who want to do individual loads, maybe POVs, dealers, brokers, auctions, whatever you want to call it. It's all out there, of course. Central lists a lot. We have load hunters who actually call previous customers who are brokers, who are wholesale buyers, and we ask them, look, we have a truck in the area. Do you have anything that we can pick up for you? What's the going rate? And we do agree on rates. That is something that you can't really do on your own unless you know that many people or that many connections within your environment that you can rely on. As far as phone calls and logistics, yes, we try to be as professional as possible. We always follow up phone calls. We let the customer know, hey, the driver's on his way. Please expect him at this time. We want to make sure for you as a driver, we take as much stress as possible out of your daily, routine, so that when you come there, the dealer is already waiting for you. If they can pull the cars or prep the cars for you, they're there. We'll try to make it easier. If you get to the auction, we want to make sure if you're cool with using a car puller, we'll make sure we get your car puller to pull your load so that you're not killing your time for EOD. EOD, you either love it or hate it. We worked with EOD when it was just AO up BRD, and we still use it. A lot of our drivers still using that because, of course, they had it way before EOD mandate kicked in. So, thankfully, through extension, it's still allowed to be used. So we know time management really well. We try to plan your route as nice as possible. The only thing we can't predict is traffic, basically, right? Because unfortunately, although everything can look good, it looks like you're making time, and all it takes is some person on the road creating a hazard, an accident, or anything else that actually will give you a 5-mile long backup that basically throws up all your whole day or your whole timing. Now, what do you do then? You're stuck in traffic. Our customers are expecting you. What do? This is where we come in as well. We maintain that communication with the client to make sure that they are aware of what's going on, right? Road tapes for the driver, yes, we prefer not to have the drivers call the clients. Our reason being is because sometimes what happens, and we see this as a habit, this usually happens with the newer guys who just get into the game. What they'll do is, pardon me, is they'll call a client, say, hey, I'm on the way, and we don't know about it, right? So when we follow up with the client, it just looks like it was an unnecessary call. The client's like, oh, yeah, I'm aware, the driver already called me. It can go both ways. If the driver called the client and said, okay, well, I'm on the way, and then he gets stuck in traffic, he calls us.
Well, and you know what? I want to say this. I agree with what you said. It's interesting. It's the opposite of my intention by saying it, in that when a broker won't let a driver talk directly to a customer, or rather it's their dispatcher. But I agree with you. In the rhythm of work, when you have a dispatcher, you let your dispatcher talk to the customers, etc., because they're the ones that are going to know the information better than the driver. I hate it. Yeah, I've been in positions where a driver told a customer one thing, and it was, dude, that's not our schedule.
Yep. That it happens, man. It happens more than you would think.
I know.
Now,
it's uncomfortable.
Something I want to really concentrate on is your bullet number 8, improved route planning and strategic feedback.
Yeah.
This is the most important, basically, bullet out of your whole list, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say this is because getting a route planned properly is the most important thing to do for as a dispatcher to a driver. Not only trying to get you as less deadhead miles as possible, but also kind of maintain the traffic reports, making sure everything's okay. Now, here's another thing. You have a lot of drivers who say, oh, okay, well, I'll have my cousin or, my sister or my wife load me. that may be nice and dandy, but what if that, what if your relative or your friend or whoever's loading you, who's really unexperienced or doesn't have, I should say, enough stars on their shoulders to call themselves a dispatcher, right? Sends you to a state where it requires a permit, or
Oh God, yeah.
sends you to a
So-
state, for example, let's say Colorado in wintertime. Like, they don't
Oh.
have a tire chain.
God, yeah, dude. Oh my God, right?
There is just so much on strategic feedback and route planning that needs to be addressed, that if you haven't dispatched or driven yourself, and Jay, there's nothing wrong to you. I know you haven't been driving, you've been dispatching for a very
Yeah,
long time.
no, I agree. If I'd driven, man, I know even more.
Yep, I personally drove, and you know that
I know.
I've done that many times. I drove before. The whole dispatch side of the business came from all this gray area of, well, I didn't know. Well, nobody told me. And back when we started this, there was really nobody to talk to. Every driver you would talk to, anywhere you load, and you come across another car hauler, it made you feel like, man, that it's either they're hiding a secret or they really want you to fail. I always say there's so much fish in the sea for car haulers that it's almost impossible to compete. There's so much loads out there. In car hauling, it's literally almost impossible to compete.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, that's a lot of gray area. Why don't we help others? I thought about, look, I've been behind the road, behind the wheel, not a steering wheel holder. I've put a lot of blood and sweat into this, car hauling, and I'm like, man, there's a lot I don't know, and it's not because
So much.
I'm not willing to learn.
Crazy.
It's something that nobody's sharing. Who do I ask? So we decided to start compiling things, knowing, well, if we go to this auction, this is what's required. Well, if we're going to Copart, we know to ask this. If we go to IA, we know we need to ask this. There's just so much to ask and to
Need my
know.
hand.
There's no way, if you have somebody close to you that is willing to dispatch, it's not just sitting behind the computer. You can have 10 screens, you can have 15 screens, you have 2 screens, or you can have 1. It doesn't matter. If you haven't faced these issues, you don't know what to ask. You don't know what to ask, and when you don't know what to ask, you're creating stress for the driver when the driver gets there, right? So it may be nice to hand you, oh, look, you booked a load. It's only a 300-mile load. You're getting paid $1,000 for it. But, hey, do you really know what you're getting into? There's a
Amen.
reason why that load is paying $1,000, right? And there's times
Oh
when
my gosh.
you
Exactly.
monitor a load.
No, you bring up a good point, because on the other side, if you're like, I knew a guy, man, he wanted Gold Bar City, 1,500, 2,000. He would deadhead 200 miles to pick up a $2,000 car. Well, if you do that with 3 or 4 cars, dude, you're deadheading like 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
What's the point?
People don't get that. People don't get it.
Crazy.
The biggest problem we're having with car haulers nowadays, right? And like I said, I'm not selling my services. I have drivers who we serve to can speak the case, right? But what I'm trying to say is the biggest problem I'm having right now in seeing as a trend is we have a lot of dollar chasers, right? Most of the dollar chasing you make, you actually cause harm to yourself. Not every top-paying load is worth taking, right? We just recently had a case, which is a really crazy case, and Johnny actually pointed out to me, I believe he's actually viewing right now, a load. He asked me a question. I said, Johnny, this is the load I would never take as much as I'd love to, He sent me a picture of I believe it's a 1957 Bentley. That picture of a Bentley looks immaculate. The problem is they're transporting it, they're actually throwing it out in the open transport to be transported. Now, the issue I'm seeing with that load is, if you're a top dollar chaser, you'll take that load, right? The problem I'm seeing about this issue is this. God forbid something happens to this car. Insurance cannot put a monetary value to this car.
And that's it too. Exactly. You could be deadheading to that gold bar, and what happens? Anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Exactly.
With this same Bentley, something to kind of point out. I mean, this is a very good case scenario. The reason why I brought this up is, God forbid, like you said, you make a scratch, a dent, or something. You make some sort of a damage, or you maybe forgot, or you didn't see. You got up in the rain. You didn't see a scratch. You didn't mark it. You
Pick up the wrong car.
Yeah. God forbid you get a claim. Not only can insurance not put a monetary value on it, that means you now have to hire, or usually what happens is, we had a very similar case with one of our drivers. We clearly told him not to take the load, but he still insisted on it. We don't force you not to take loads. If you want to take a load, let's say you're a 7-car operator, 7-car hauler. If you picked up 2, 3 cars, we're not holding you to it. Just let us know so we know to book you for the remaining open slots that you have. We clearly,
Right.
gentlemen,
That's right.
take this load.
And that's why you've got to talk. Total communication.
Yes, sir.
That's
and
huge.
when I talk a lot about this,
Yeah.
communication is number one key point for me. If we don't communicate, I'd rather drop you and not dispatch you
That's right.
than have any other issues.
That's right.
So the gentleman picked up the car. It was raining. He did not see a scratch on the car. Gets a bill because the car is an older car. They can't pull a value on the car. He gets billed for almost, I don't want to lie to you, I believe the number was close to like $6,300 or $6,400
Wow.
for the repairs of the car.
Wow.
This is what it was appraised under. Now, the way they came to that number, and kill me if I'm wrong, and I don't know why in the world would this happen, but they actually hired an independent company to give a value to the vehicle. The value of the vehicle is what the insurance went by when they did the process of the claim.
Right.
So he picked up a $700 load car that he was supposed to carry over 120 miles. It's nice and dandy. You're almost getting like, $7 a mile. But look what it cost him.
That's why I say my ideal anchor is like a used Honda Civic.
Exactly. I always tell the driver, if you can't put a value on the vehicle, do not take the vehicle.
Totally.
And this is something that my dispatchers know really well of, and they know better not to take cars if the car is an older car. I always say this, look, if you can't put a value into the vehicle, that vehicle should be on an enclosed trailer. That's the only way I look at it. If a carrier is telling me he has an enclosed trailer, I have no problem dispatching that load to him or finding that load to make sure it gets dispatched. But if it's an open trailer and you can't put a value in the vehicle, I highly advise them not to take it. It's up to them if they want to take it or not. I don't run their company. I only assist. Right? This is where strategic feedback comes in play.
So check this out. This is really interesting. The next, my final guest of this evening, and I'm running up against a time constraint, so I need to call him in a minute. But I think you're going to want to stick around. We're going to talk to Dan of Clear Task Solutions. Dan is working on, well, actually, is in the process of developing a dispatch automating solution. I know you're going to find this interesting. So what I want to do is I want to thank you for coming on the show and talking with Eric and letting me do that experiment of just throwing you into the lion's den. I thought it went pretty well. So listen, man, keep in touch with me. Again, I really appreciate the time you took to join the show. I know it's late there, and I know you're a busy guy. So I really, really appreciate you taking the time and joining the show tonight.
Definitely, Jay. I'll definitely stick around, and thank you so much for having me on. Anytime, guys, anybody watching, or anybody's going to be watching on demand afterwards, if you ever need help, always give us a shout. We're definitely more than willing to help.
So this is...
And it's not just dispatch as well. You got questions, we'll try to find you an answer.
Right, that's what's amazing. You have a million answers. There's so many things I think you can talk about. Phone number, email address, comment below. If you need help talking to Mike or whatever, if you didn't call and you want to ask me, man, I'll send you right over. So, Mike, thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
All right, man. See ya.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Thanks, bye.
All right, bye. All right, cool. So, all right, here we go. We need to call Dan. I knew this would be a long show. I told you guys. We're at 2.25 hours. That's crazy. It's hard to believe. How does this show go so long? What is he talking about? Why doesn't he put his phone in a more convenient location? Why does he dispatch? Is he right? Could it be true? What's up with all this?
Hello, Dan.
Hey, Dan. Welcome to Auto Transport Intel.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey, man. Listen, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're in the middle of, you've got something going on in your schedule, so I really appreciate you hanging around and joining me tonight. I really do.
I appreciate you having me on.
You know, I forgot to do this. I was gonna show your video promo here, so I'm just gonna roll it since we're on the phone, and let's see if the audio comes up here. Okay, yeah. So we
Meet
got.
Bob. Bob just wants to golf.
Let's watch this.
If I sink this, I'm on pace for 3 under. Bob can't just golf today because he's managing Willie.
Hey, Bob. Willie here.
Where am I going again?
Okay, Willie, buddy,
I've explained this like 6 times.
Yeah, what's that, Bob? You broke up.
never mind. You're going out to the 380. Take exit 4.
Go right, in 8 blocks, take another right. You can't miss it.
So, 380 miles, take 45 exits.
Got it.
What? No, Highway 380.
Wait, there is no Highway 380, boss? You sure about that? You sure about that? Sure about that? You sure about that? Sure about that? Sure about that? Oh, no. Sir?
Don't toss your phone. Use it to download CTS.
CTS can help with that. Bringing the brains to the brawn.
All right, there it is. So we just watched the video. And now why did you make that video?
Basically, it's 25 years of my life running dispatch and running my own construction company. That's just some of the daily headaches that happen to you every time you get a phone call.
Right, because what we know that a lot of times the aspects of dispatching that we have to manage through phone calls, and like you told me, you're missing things. There's no need to be on the phone like this if there was a way to automate some of this problem solving, right?
Correct.
And I mean, how much of that, what percentage of those problems could be solved with an app rather than an hour-long phone call?
What we found is usually a good 90 to 95% of all questions and all errors are solved just by having a clear platform that is that's easy for the dispatch to use, and easy for the driver, the end user, to be able to get the clear information they need. No one wants to have any problems. It's the simple fact that if someone, accidentally gets a north and a south mixed up, when you're the driver, that's 3 hours of driving around in a circle trying to find where you're supposed to be, where it was just a simple communication error.
And so you are the creator of this app. I mean, not the developer, but it's your idea, right?
Correct.
Okay, I mean, that is really cool. I mean, how cool that is to have gone through these problems, come up with a strategy, worked with a developer, and you've released an app that actually does these things. Right?
Correct.
I mean, that's amazing. So, and I can click on download app. I can get it for Android or Apple. And, I mean, if I download your app right now, does it start asking me questions about my business process and how it can help, or what happens?
No, so if you're going to get the app, there's a management piece that I know you dispatch out load. So what you do is you get the management piece, and if you wanted to bring one of your guys on to dispatch a load, they could just simply download the app, and then you could give the information to them. The thing we don't want to do is, there's a lot of back end work that goes into making sure the dispatch is done right. It's not just
right.
Hey, we can do this. You got to make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, so to say. But what we want to be able to do is we want to give the driver or the employee the platform to be able to get it, and that's where you download the app.
And that's where, and I'm glad you said that, because I'm on the same page. What I think I understand is that this is not like a drive-through window that you created for anything, but it's literally it's an interface through which, once customized, will allow you to do what needs to be done like you said, in the 90+% automated area, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're going to get a load, you're going to talk to the customer. You're going to know all the information, what time they need to show up, what side of the yard they need to bring in, any special, you know, straps, tools, anything that the driver is going to need to know that's crucial. That takes up a lot of time, and you know, it just frankly gets lost in communication. Let them know all the information they need. You'll have that all prepared and ready for them, and so once you say, okay, I want this in particular driver to have this load, he downloads the app, he gets the dispatch from you, you can see what time he accepts it, what time he has it, he has all the information, and if there's any problems, he can communicate real time with you through the app, so you can see if there's a problem or if there's anything you need to be aware of. A lot of times traffic, or they'll go to pick up a load or a vehicle and it's not prepared, and so they can start documenting that, so you're informed of it also.
Right, right. And so when you, I'm assuming when you begin a relationship with a business to begin using your product, you probably want to have a meeting, a consultation to set parameters of expectations and how ultimately it's going to work within the business. Am I right?
Yeah, what we like to do is, first off, we sit down, we actually make sure this is going to be a good fit for our customer. We get to know them a little bit, and then we want to make sure that we're there 100% of the way until they're fully confident in knowing the system. Honestly, that usually takes about 2 to 3 phone calls of sitting down, getting everything ready, but you know, we're there as long as it takes.
Yeah, no, I believe that. But I mean, you know, with the goal of automating, I mean, we know that here we are, mid 2018. We know that automation of process, it's already happened in many other industries. And any industry that doesn't have an automation of process today is looking towards that kind of future. I just saw, well, I think 2 weeks ago, I think I mentioned this to you, I can't remember, seeing the kiosks in McDonald's where instead of telling a cashier your order, you can punch it in on the kiosk about 10 feet away from the counter. Have you seen that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, and that, the first time I saw that, I think, I don't remember what exactly I was thinking because my mind raced really quickly, but it was a bit shocking, and it really said that the future's coming. In fact, the future's here. And so we all have business processes that we want to improve and make more efficient so that we can fill our lives with some other problem. But yeah, I mean, this sounds really interesting, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show.
It's been a fun trip down the road, I can tell you that.
I'm sure it has. And what's going to happen next? I mean, what do you see happening next?
Or as what direction?
I don't know. So well, let me ask you this. So you now have, I mean, for you now, really the next thing is just taking on more clients and building out more solutions for more clients, right?
Correct. Yep.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the more technology allows us, knowledge. It's just from when I started down this, what we're able to do now compared to what we wasn't able to do. A lot of times, trying to get a truck into an area, you know, you need to know the area, or you need to kind of, I call it a phone to dance. You have to go 2 blocks past it to turn on the correct road, and being able to link up the right routing that we offer, you know, knowing how to get drivers in and out, and just having it on a platform that is easy to use for the end user. It's been really exciting. A lot of the testimonials were coming in that we're getting. extra hours of production, and that's production time. That's time they're getting paid per job. Guys, we got some local guys that do a lot of local work. They can get 2 to 3 more jobs done a day, just because when something changes or it needs to be moved, they're not waiting hours on the phone for their instructions.
So I was gonna say, man, there was a first of all, you made a comment about taking phone calls and missing events, and I stood outside of a Thanksgiving gathering on the phone one time trying to find a forklift driver. That is a true story. Everybody's in there. Like, I mean, it wasn't during dinner, but people were gathering, family out of town, and I'm standing out in the cold trying to get a hold of a forklift driver. Okay, true story. And it makes me so mad that that happened. And then the other thing that I've done, it was actually the same driver, is he would have me staring at a map, and I'd be like, I'd be zoomed in, all right? I'd be like, okay, there's another road coming up on your left. Okay, oh no, you missed it. Okay, like, what are we doing? That's
one of the biggest things that we always say is now we can actually eat dinner with our family since this has come out. That's one of the unforeseen things that's come of this product.
Yeah, that is so cool. So speaking of, listen, I'm gonna let you get back to your schedule. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to join me so we could take a look at your app, your solution, your technology, and I'm excited to find out where you're headed. And so I'm so grateful that I got you to come on the program tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you having us on. If you have any other questions or want to do it again, just reach out and let us know.
Okay, glad you said that. Contact info, I just went to your contact page. Your phone number's up there, right? And you have an email address up there too. Phone 385 number and support@cleartasksolutions.com.
Correct.
All right, cool. Dan, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.
You too. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, I'm so glad that Dan could join us tonight. I didn't want to bother him, even though I do like a sound check before the show, but that was like 3.5 hours ago. I just didn't want to bother him. So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about when we talk about load boards improving what they do and what can be done. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about automation of process. Listen, I'm no evil genius here. This is a no-brainer. If you can dispatch a car online without having to make a phone call, right? That's a great thing. What happens after the dispatch, though? What if you could automate parts of the dispatching process so the dispatcher doesn't need to make a million phone calls? The dispatcher could dispatch for more trucks more efficiently. This is where we're headed. And maybe the dispatcher is the driver, is the broker. Maybe this whole ecosystem parallelogram is one person and then the shipper. But maybe that's what happens. Maybe that's what can be done. So obviously, I don't have to preach technology. You don't need me to do that. But it's coming. It's here. Where am I trying to go? The technology is either here or it's coming, and we're going to keep talking about it. And that's one of the goals of the show as well. So, yes, I want to thank all my guests for joining me tonight. I want to thank Judy for coming on and telling her story and talking with us. I want to thank Eric for coming on and presenting some of his questions about dispatching, telling us how he got burned in the past, so that in the future, Mike can help, or someone, any dispatcher can help him knowing what happened in the past. I do want to thank Mike Niekoff of East West Express Hauling for coming on the show. Big help and lots of information. And of course, I want to thank Dan from Clear Task Solutions for coming on the show. and sharing what's happening with his technology and product. You guys, this is Auto Transport Intel. You know, let's see, where we're going. You know about the products and all that stuff, but I'm mainly, you know about, Auto Transport Intel lives on YouTube, but Facebook is a great way to get a hold of me, connect with me, ask questions, share information. Of course, I want you to go to the website autotransportintel.com. That's where you'll find the 20 steps to car hauling. I now am doing Instagram stuff. I'll try and do like one Instagram video a week. It's mostly promotional stuff. And frankly, I barely do anything on Twitter. I'm not sure what's happened to Twitter, but I know a lot of people kind of say that as a social media platform. It's just it's not used as much as it used to be. So that's how you can find me, and I want you to find me. I want you to send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I appreciate every like, share, comment, and subscription that I get. And I'm going to be here every Tuesday. I'm at the 2.5-hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and that is pretty much it. I'm wrapping it up. I'm going to fire up the car hauler. Next week, I'm not even sure what we're doing next week. So if you have something that, man, you got to tell me about, send me an email. Maybe we'll make a show about it. Literally, this show got made because Eric started asking me dispatch questions, and I realized, oh my gosh, I got the super chat. Thank you, Blackout Car Carriers. I really appreciate that. I appreciate any amount of any donation of any form. And I'm glad that I can help. I've seen the live chat real busy tonight, and I really appreciate everybody participating in the live chat, saying hello, helping each other out as we hear on the phone. And this is no secret that we feel like a lot of times people don't want to help or we can't find the information, and I want to help change that. I think we've already started changing that. Auto Transport Intel is a community, and you guys are a huge part of that. This is not a community of one. So thank you so much for that donation. Thanks everybody for tuning in. All right, and let's see. I'm going to hit the car hauler here. Let me get this video cranking up. See if my tired old computer will help me out. And listen, if there's anything I can do for you, contact me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And I will see you guys in a week. Peace.